Hey, I'm gonna talk to you about mastering a skill that I'm gonna call observer mode, right? This means you have to understand a lot of people are reactionary, right? So this means you know, when someone lies to you, the reactionary person will get all mad. You're lying, you're lying, you're a liar, right? You're trying to call them out. Been there, done that. It's no need to, because at the end of the day, I just look at things as data at this point. So if a person is sitting there lying in my face, in my mind, it registers as they lying, they're being deceptive. I don't necessarily know why, and I don't need to care about the why. It's about what they're doing in the present moment that matters, and that tells me their character, and it gives me a lot of data about the person, that this person is not a trustworthy person. This person, you can't believe anything that they say. Even though my mind will naturally wonder, well, why? Because pathological and habitual liars, it's a mental condition. It's a mental illness to lie about things that don't make sense. Oh, I ate a PB&J sandwich knowing dang well they ate Beanie Weenies or something. It's like, why would you lie about that? It doesn't even matter about the why. It's the fact that you did, right? The action of what you did in the present moment that categorized you as a liar. Doesn't mean they have to know what's in my mind. I categorize them according to their actions, according to their behavior. This is how, when you start categorizing people based on the data that they show you, a person, they show you, we notice the saying, Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. We are in the age of Aquarius. We literally just had an eclipse 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. Probably 3 weeks ago now, right? There's been a lot of astrological stuff going on and a lot of energies going on. And at the end of the day, all of that combined with you working on yourself, things like that, you're just going to see people for who they are. People can't hide, a promiscuous person is going to show. An honest person, it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to show in their energy, in their actions. Someone who's inconsistent, it's going to show. You're going to see it. You know what I'm saying? They say one thing, then they turn around and do the opposite of what they said. That's also considered a double-minded person. And y'all know what the Bible say about double-minded people. They are unstable in all of their ways and in all of their thoughts. So that's not a dependable, trustworthy, reliable person, right? That's data. So when you learn how to collect data on people and not be reactionary, you know what I'm saying? It greatly helps. It greatly helps you just organize who's for you and who's not for you. Because like I said, people have their uses. Nobody's perfect. Not everybody's self-aware. Not everybody is conscious of who they are. And that blew me these last few days. You know what I'm saying? Actually in the last week, because people always talk about, people are lost out here. No. People are really lost out here. Like when you level up and you become more and more self-aware about yourself and you start mastering yourself, you're able to see others more clearly, because the more clear you see yourself, you're able to see others clearly too, right? You're not with the rose-colored glasses on your face. You're not trying to paint somebody who's purple green. You see them as being purple. You see the green people as being green. You see it for what it is. You take it for what it is. And you just move accordingly. You can either let it go or you can figure out a workaround around it. It's called adaptability, flexibility. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying just let any and everybody be around you. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is all you have to do is just observe. That's observer mode. When you go into observer mode, you're less reactionary. You know, you're really just analyzing these people's behaviors. You're analyzing their words. You could read between the lines of what they're really saying. You know, you pick up on so much information that, like, and it's really a skill, because I've been doing it since like the beginning of this year. So I'm like 8 months into the skill. And when I say that I'm killing it, I'm killing it. Because let me tell you, my money's up. You know, my blessings is up. That's what I mean by you just have to take people how they are, and you got to move accordingly. If you think it's best for this person to no longer be around and in your life, that doesn't mean that that person isn't hurt. Yeah, that person probably is hurt. They probably are upset, especially if they were draining you of your energy. Of course they're going to be upset, because they were relying on you. They needed you. And then, you know, and also, have y'all noticed, like, if you disconnect yourself from certain people, like, you know, you kind of distance yourself or cut them off, whichever one, right? Have you ever noticed that their life goes down? Because I noticed that when I connect with certain people, they get blessed. If they're a business owner or there's somebody who does, you know, something or whatever it is, right? When I start, like, you know, giving their business money, when I say that place start popping, start getting crazy off the hook, I'd be like, this was my place. Now it's everyone's place. But that's part of being like a chosen one, someone with a high vibration. You basically energetically bring that person business. Now, if that person F's you over and you cut them off and you stop going to them, they will lose a lot of business. They will lose a lot of clients and all types of stuff, right? Because that's what comes along with your energy. You know, you could be this person's friend, you could be this person's lover, you could be this you know what I'm saying, their neighbor, whatever. As long as they are connected to you, their life gets better in some way, right? But the moment you disconnect yourself from that individual, their life goes down. Like, just bad stuff happens to the individual. That's not a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I'm a strong believer that if a person does me right, they will be blessed for their lifetime. They do me wrong, they will curse themselves for a lifetime. But it's so funny. They be thinking, you I got a story to tell y'all. It's hilarious. I'm going to tell y'all in the next one.